Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Ezewane Lillian Ozolaha and I am the author of Heatbeat of Hope, a mother's journey through medicine, resilience and hope. Now, today I will be answering a few questions, to be exact 5 questions. So number 1 question is, what was the hardest thing about writing your book? So for me, the hardest thing about writing my book was the emotional weight. I had to go back to some of the most painful, raw and vulnerable parts of my life, moments I haven't even fully processed at the time. I was writing about watching my child suffer, about feeling helpless, afraid and sometimes even guilty for not having all the answers. It meant going back to hospital corridors, emergency calls and sleepless night, guys. But for me also, it wasn't just about the memories, it was about the responsibilities. I had 2 other children that were looking up to me. I wanted to be honest, but at the same time gentle. I didn't want people to feel sorry for me. I wanted them to find strength in my story. So balancing that emotional honesty with a message of hope was really tough. There were times I would write a paragraph and have to walk away. Other times I would cry while typing. But deep down I knew that if I could write through the pain, someone else could read through theirs and find healing. So that kept me going. Question 2. Why did you write a diary when you were going through the hardest trial of your life? If you've known me, as a child I have always written. I would write long letters to my father, to my mom, to my siblings. I've always had a diary as a child. I started writing a diary because I needed a place to release what I couldn't always say out loud, and this has been since I was a child. There is something powerful about journaling, guys. So I would always ask people to, if you can, put it down. So for me, it gave me control in a season where everything else felt chaotic. So in my book, in those pages, I could admit how scared I was, how broken I felt, how confused I was by what life had become for me at the time. It wasn't for anyone else, it was for survival. So it was my way to survive. So looking back, that diary became a record of resilience. I wasn't trying to write a book at the time, I was just trying to breathe. But now, I realized that the entries in my diary were seeds that captured real-time emotions, raw truths and tiny glimmers of hope. So when the time came for me to write Heartbeat of Hope, it gave me the roadmap. I felt like I had everything that I needed to put it together and make it a book. He gave me a roadmap that proved that even in darkness, light was always peeking through. That diary reminded me that healing isn't always instant, but it's possible. The 3rd question, what is the book about and why should we read it? Heartbeat of Hope is more than a book, guys. It is a journey. It is my honest account of working through a storm I never saw coming. It's about parenting a child with a serious health condition, facing emotional, financial and spiritual battles, and somehow still choosing to believe that something good could come out of it. This book is for anyone who have ever asked why me or how do I keep going. It is for people who are tired, who feel unseen, who need to know that they are not alone. You should read it because it doesn't sugarcoat pain, but it doesn't glorify it either. It shows the messy in between. That mess in between things, sometimes it shows that. The days when hope is a whisper and the days when it roars like a lion. It shows how love, faith and community can carry us when we can't carry ourselves. And more than that, for me though, it reminds you that your worst season does not define you. That in life, there is beauty on the other side. You just have to hang in there long enough to see that. Next question was, How important was support to you at such a difficult time? Guys, I cannot emphasize this enough. Support was everything. When you are in crisis, it's easy to isolate yourself. It's easy for you to think that people won't understand, or you feel like a burden. But the truth is, support can be life-saving. I had moments when I was too tired to pray, too broken to speak, too overwhelmed to even ask for help. But people showed up. Sometimes it was just a message, sometimes it was a call, it was a listening ear, sometimes it was food on my doorstep, guys, and sometimes it was just someone just sitting in there with me in silence, or a reminder that I am not alone. Support wasn't always loud, but it was always present. Even when I didn't realize it at the time, I was being carried, and that taught me something. You don't need hundreds of people in your life. Sometimes one or two people who truly care about you are all that you need, are all that can make that difference between despair and hope. So for me, that was something that I learned. That season also taught me how to receive love, how to ask for help, and now how to support someone else. Because no one should go through hard times alone, guys. No one at all. I have a theory about life. I believe that we as human beings are put on this earth to hold each other's hand, to be each other's keeper. So we don't have to do it on our own, guys. We do not have to do it on our own. Thank you. Question number 5. What lessons have you learned from your experience? Guys, this journey has taught me so much. I couldn't, if I was to write down all of the things I've learned, I'll be writing another book, guys. But I'll be sharing a few of it. First, I've learned that strength is found in the cracks. You see them little cracks? That's where the strengths are found. I used to think being strong meant holding everything together. That was my initial thought. Now I know that it's about being vulnerable, about getting back after you fall. I've learned that. I've learned also to value the present. When you have gone through so much, you stop waiting for the perfect moment. You start embracing every breath, every smile, every peaceful day. You embrace it all, you soak it all in, you live in the moment. I have also learned that purpose can rise from pain, guys. I would never have imagined that I would become a published author now, and it was through this journey that this possibility came to light. I never imagined I'll write a book, share my story, or speak to others about hope. But here we are, guys. Prove that brokenness does not mean the end of the world, guys. It does not mean the end of the world. I'm telling you, you got to believe it. Finally, I've learned that the power of faith and hope. Guys, even when I could not see the full picture, and I had them times, I had to believe there was more to the story. And there was. And there still is. Your trials don't have to break you. They can build you. And when you have come out of the other side, you realize you are not the same. And that is a beautiful thing, to know that you are not the same as you were before that experience. So for me, these are some of the things that I have learned. If you're not following my YouTube page, please follow my YouTube page. A call to action to this video would be, if you haven't already, please pre-order my book from my publisher's website. I'll be sharing the link on this video. You could also pre-order it from Amazon. If you're in London and you could come in person for my launch, guys, please and please sign up. I'll be sharing the link on the bottom of this video. Sign up for the launch so that we can all meet in person. My mission is to create a little community where we all hold each other's hands. my mission right now is to make hope contagious. So join me while we do it. Thank you.